Savvy, let him know.
Hey, it's Trey. Turn it up.
Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah. Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah. Wavy, ooh, ah, yeah. Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah.
Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth. Buying by brand, that's the first important Negro buying habit. Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware, but she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. It's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made. So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point. And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
There's a reason for this reaction. Again, because he's had experience with cheap merchandise, the Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality, not price.
What's good, Savvy Crew? I'm coming back with another video, and this one is on spoken reasons. Asking all the questions. Asking all the questions. Like we're asking all the questions. Make it stay. Assume? Yeah. I know y'all ain't heard that in a long time. So this on spoken reasons. The dude with the low haircut, not Emmanuel Hudson, the dude with the dreads. The other dude. Listen. He broke the oath. Supposedly, shout out Jay Marvelous, this is on his channel. He broke the oath supposedly. You know, we gotta react to it. Let's get it.
Spoken reasons broke the oath, and most people don't know why.
I knew that wasn't gonna last forever, and I knew it wasn't that much time either. As soon as I went out there, the energy was off.
He got his start on YouTube in 2008. He would attend spoken word showcases and make a name for himself in the Tampa, Florida area. After realizing there wasn't no money in poetry, he would then upload videos on YouTube. It wasn't until he got locked in with Emmanuel Hudson and they began doing comedy skits on YouTube. Once the notoriety came, so did the fame. In 2011, 50 Cent reached out to Spoken Reason. He had him do a commercial for his energy drink.
5 Hour Energy, where you get this from? Oh, you don't believe in supporting SK? You don't believe in supporting SK? You don't believe in feeding 1 billion people in Africa? Open your eyes.
I remember this too. I think I remember that. But was he in a fraternity or something? Because I ain't gonna lie, he looked like he could have been in a fraternity for some reason. I don't know why. He just looked like he just got that image, like he was in a fraternity. The spoken reasons. And Emmanuel Hudson, that nigga just always seemed just feminine and a bug to me, even back then. I forgot all about him, but even back then, and he was a little bit on the feminine side. He was always playing a female character and shit, or acting like the hood ratchet female or something. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that was a humiliation ritual to blow up a little bit.
Spoken Reasons did this skit, his career started to take off. In 2013, Hollywood started to call. He landed a role in the movie The Heat, featuring Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCartney. Tried to make a duplicate of Chris Tucker, but they had this guy already. After his performance in The Heat, he started to see the dark side of Hollywood. In a live stream on his channel, he mentioned how Russell Simmons tried to take all his money. When he signed with Russell Simmons' comedy platform, ADD, now he broke the oath.
I signed an ADD for $20,000. We tried to negotiate with millions. Them swatted. It was like, damn, I'm not eating, but I had to sign to the network because they said this is the only way how you're going to be able to get your ads back on your videos. All my ads were gone, bro. I'm talking about gone. I wasn't making hardly nothing. That shit was declining like a motherfucker to the point that I had to take the bread and buy in. And then they actually said, look, man, when you sign the ADD, you know what I'm saying, you get all your ads back. And then, you know what I'm saying, and then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna have some things for you. And then everything gonna come back. It's all gonna be good. I didn't know if the system was changing. I was confused. I'm like, what is this? Is this new YouTube? I didn't understand. And, you know, I'm sitting back, I'm signing the ADD. And the next thing you know, All Def Digital, Dr. Reasons come up. I walk into Brian Robbins' office one day, and he said, hey, you know what you should do? Let's do this thing called Dr. Reason. I said, what the is that? He said, Dr. Reason, where you're like a love therapist, and you know what I'm saying, you can kind of just, you know, talk to people about your problem, because you know, you talk about relationships and everything. I think people will love that. I said, all right, am I writing this stuff? So, you know, whatever. I said, whatever, you know, I didn't sign nothing at the time, but he said, Dr. Reason, just trust me. I said, okay, this is a movie director. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, if I kind of play into what he got running, I'm gonna get my chip, and then maybe I'll be in the movie as well, and I'll be in my second movie. So I ended up doing Dr. Reasons, right? I didn't write it.
Listen, it sounded like he was probably trying to outsmart him. Listen, you can outsmart them, but they gonna eventually come back and get you. They not just gonna let you play them over like that. It don't matter who it is. Everybody that thought they outsmarted the industry ended up getting outsmarted themselves. That's why I'm just not even gonna play that game. Because when you make the game, you can make the rules. And I'm not gonna even play by their rules. I'm not gonna even play the game. Don't even opt me in to play.
Oh, I didn't write that shit. These people wrote for me, right? And let me tell you how it went. They hired some ragged writers from MTV, HBO, and these literally got fired because of me. Like, these were so trash. I said, yeah. Like, I had so much power at the time too. At the time, I was getting $500 per episode because they wouldn't negotiate for more. Because you want to know why? I know a lot of y'all would say, oh, that's your fault for taking that low amount of money. Well, check it out.
Now listen, $500 per episode. Do you realize movie actors really be only getting paid about $2,000, maybe a little bit more? But they make as much. Listen, movie actors sometimes make as much as truck drivers. When I figured that out, I was like, oh yeah, Hollywood is definitely rigged. And then they have to push that agenda. They have to wear those, they have to pretty much look like they got some money, because they really, at the end of the day, don't. Unless they ain't spending shit, looking like J. Cole out here, a whole homeless man, a whole hobo. You know, this Kanye at one point looked like he was wearing that same damn jacket, them same jeans, and them same motherfucking boots. Them damn waterproof ass, boot ass boots. He wore that same shit for a long time, because that money that they make in the industry is not really theirs. It's pretty much like a loan. Okay, so they get that money, and then whenever they do shows, whenever they get book recording sessions, studio sessions, whenever they do whatever the label does for that artist is coming out of that money that they gave to them. So they have to pay that back, all of it. Every little single dime, penny, and cent, they have to pay it back. And if they don't, well, that's their ass, Mr. Postman. Not for real though. If they don't though, then shoot, they gonna have to keep on re-signing that deal until they pay them back. They gonna have to they gonna get their shit took something. And then if they try to fight against it, it's gonna be even worse. So once again, why even play their game? It's just a whole big illusion to trick people and make you stay pretty much what is that word I'm looking for? Make you pretty much wanna stay in the monopoly matrix. It makes you seem like you have a chance to make it one day big. Like you remember them in the mall when you used to sign that slip and you might win a cruise trip or some shit like that. They make you have a chance to think that you gonna win big and somehow get that American dream, get this big old house, 5, 6, 10 cars. You can't even drive them all. They just gonna sit there, 5, 6, 10 cars, all these clothes that you ain't gonna even wear. So many you forgot about, taking up 13 different closets. Every time you go to a new city, you buy new clothes instead of packing a suitcase. You really just helping them establish their kingdom. At the end of the day, you're helping them establish their kingdom and rule over you even more.
Platform. The internet was new. They put money toward, and y'all can look this up. Y'all been hearing about people over time that got sued and record labels that got sued over pushing money behind people's stuff to make it blow up more than what it really is. Dr. Reasons wasn't like that. They didn't have no views like that.
And 6ix9ine came out and said that as well. I mean, a couple artists came out and said it, but 6ix9ine came out and said that a lot of these artists is not really doing the numbers that they doing. They record label is rigging those numbers and making it seem like they bigger than what they actually are. That's why you'll be like, damn, how the hell this person? You'll look on YouTube or something, and that video got about like a couple million views, or you'll start seeing this person everywhere, and he's this big person, but he ain't even really that big because they're making him seem like it's bigger than what it is, pretty much bigger than life, larger than life. They're giving these people that illusion that they're larger, they're bigger than life. When really, shit, you probably make more than rappers. People that work regular jobs is probably making more than rappers, especially because they not really even realizing that money ain't theirs. So when they get that $1 million advance, however much it is from that label, when they get signed, you already know. First off, whenever they get, once again, like I said, when they get booked for shows, for whatever it is, and it has to be spent money up on, they gonna use that money. They gonna take that out of your budget, meaning you have to pay that back. So you already know with that $1 million, these rappers, not only that, so they got these expenses now that they don't even really know about, and then they take that $1 million and then go buy a whole bunch of bullshit, clothes, jewelry, houses, shit like that. Buy their whole 50, by his whole group of 50 niggas, buy them all some Amiri jeans and shit, buy them all clothes like they some females. Those shopping sprees and shit. Then that money gone. Then they owe this money over here. So they really in a hole. That shit is just an illusion, bro. I wanted to be a rapper. I studied this shit. I used to watch all the rappers' interviews. Anything that I used to watch them all, bro. Not all of them, but all the rappers that I like, I used to watch all their interviews, bro. Anything that they had. I searched for unreleased music so I could be the first one up on it. All that shit. But it's just a big illusion to keep you stuck and distracted within their monopoly matrix that they don't want you to escape, because you're the real one who matters. They need you so you can keep on helping them build their kingdom, because without you, their kingdom will not get built, because they damn sure ain't gonna do the work. They the ones who want to sit at the top of the throne whenever the kingdom is built. So they not gonna do the work. They're gonna have the slaves do it for them, which is us.
I mean, they put money behind their stuff. And when they put money behind it or whatever, it made it look like more than what it really was. So yes, it did blow up over time because they paid for advertisement. When you pay for advertisement, it's going to bring people in. If you got the money to do it, y'all got a certain type of check from YouTube. If you're getting a $50 million check or $30 million check from YouTube, of course you got the money to push for advertising. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course you have the money for that stuff, all right?
And now you see why they all switching to YouTube now, because there was really no money in streaming anyways. There was really no money in music, period. Even back then, in the 90s and 80s and all that. There was more money in it back then because they actually sold physical CDs, a physical thing. But now, since it's switched to streaming, back then it was like TLC said they was getting 56 cents for every album or something like that. Or for every something like that. But it was about like 56 cents split between both of them, all three of them in a group. Now the streaming is really only, now when you stream music, like listening to it on Apple Music and all that other stuff, it's really only worth like a cent. Now I've had music out for years, and the most I've made out of the all-time stream, when I go look at my United Masters music, my payout stub or whatever, I have made like maybe $80 now at most out of 6 to 5 years, with a couple thousand streams, no more than 20,000. I thought with at least 20,000 streams, I would have at least had maybe $200, $300. No, $80. No more than that. For 5 or 6 years that my music been out, maybe even a little longer. Now that's crazy. So think about these other artists that's getting millions and billions of streams. They really only getting about a couple thousand, a couple 100,000, maybe might get $1 million, a little $1 million check or more, $1 million or a little more, but they're not making that much big money, because then after that, make that money, that label or whoever they finance people is that does their finances is probably skimming a little off the top as well, if the artist ain't actually checking in upon it. If they just really trust in a financial person that the artist, that the label gave to them, then most likely they probably skimming a little more off the top than they need to be anyway. So these artists is not really, the only ones who's really making that good amount of money, is making money, is the ones who got brand deals, the ones who took it outside of music. If they still just in the music, they're really not making that much money. But if they took it outside of music and got brand deals and all this other stuff, then yeah, they doing something. But the ones who just only stuck on music, most likely ain't even really doing that.
When I went home and I told everybody that I want to do relationship game, literally, some of y'all donated, but literally no more than probably 50 50 to 70 people donated, and it didn't even exceed $1,500 or something like that. So then the next day, I get an email from Russell. Russell says, I'm sorry they jerked it. They can jerk my d. I'm gonna make sure you straight. I said, what are you talking about? I wake up the next morning, it's $35,000 sitting up in my campaign, and the whole campaign is shut down. Now, mind you, I'm not mad about it. I'm appreciative of it, but then it's like, wait a minute, cuz. You put $35,000 in my campaign and didn't even give people the chance to fund themselves. So you basically swatted, because you know when you have a GoFundMe or an Indiegogo, it can overly exceed the limit. Of course, I was expecting it to oversee the limit, but bruh, it literally shut down my campaign, and everybody was like, well, you good. You good now. You good. You got the money now. Well, this is the money you owe me. I'm broke as can't pay my rent. And you gonna give me the money you owe me? You can't feel that entitled. And I looked at it as a chess move. That's when I felt up. I said, it's a chess move for to try to put their name on something what I got going on, so I won't run.
Listen, do you realize these artists is putting layaway? They putting jury and shit on layaway. They literally pay it. Like Klarna or Klarma and Afterpay and Foursquare. All them apps like that where you can buy now and pay later or pay over time, set up like in a pretty much an installment type shit and pay over time, an advancement or whatever. These rappers is literally doing that with jury and shit like that. Like the baby or Little Baby, how he always a couple years ago, I don't know about now, but I used to watch the Icebox, and he used to stay off an Icebox and shit like that. Supposedly that used to just pretty much that he might as well should have bought it, how much he was always in there. But these artists literally get all this jewelry that it ain't worth nothing. When you got diamonds in your jewelry, instead of a plain Jane, instead of just plain gold, when you have diamonds and stuff in your jewelry, that lessens the value faster. And not only that, at one point they were talking about bust down. If you busting down a watch as well, or a chain that was from plain Jane to putting diamonds in it, now you're really lessening the value, because you didn't have to put holes off in it to put the diamond off in there. So you had to put holes in the jewelry, which really lessens the value now, instead of having just a plain Jane Rolex, which the depreciation will lessen. The depreciation doesn't decline as fast as diamonds does. If you even know about the diamond industry, do some research on that. The De Beers started the diamond industry. This right here, none of this shit is real, and I'll be damned if I spend real money on diamonds. And if I did, you would not see me just wearing it willy-nilly anywhere. Do you realize they getting full buzz down chains, a whole globe with listen, as much diamonds as a lot of these rappers be having in their chains, you ought to know that's fake. Because that motherfucker would cost more than a couple. That bitch would be more than $1 million, and they getting these bust down chains. Some of these rappers is getting a plain Richard Millie is worth millions of dollars. You can get a Richard Millie that's worth $50 million. If these rappers is getting bust down big ass pendant chains, big ass Cuban link necklaces with diamonds in it, and it's only worth a couple thousand, 500,000, you know that shit is fake. When a plain Jane Richard Millie can cost 50,000, no diamonds. A plain Jane Millie can cost 50 million, can cost 50 million, But these rappers will get a big ass pendant, bust down Cuban link, doggy shit chain, doggy rope link chain, whatever you want to call it. And that bitch will have millions, if not, nigga, that bitch will have diamonds all through it. And it's only a couple thousand. It's only 500,000, 600,000. You know that shit is fake, bro. How many times have these rappers got their chains took back in like the 2016 era, the 2014-ish era, around that time, the 20 teens eras, when these rappers was getting their chains took and people was going to get it back for them, but these street niggas, street gang members was going to get it back for them, and then they was blackmailing them, end up blackmailing the rapper, like, if you want to get this back, you gotta give me 50,000, you gotta give me 50,000 or some shit like that, and pretty much blackmail. And then they was talking about, some of them was saying that the chains was fake, because they is, my nigga. It's called costume jewelry, play jewelry. Whether you get it from Icebox or not, nigga, they can sell fake shit too. 9 times out of 10, they fucking these rappers over anyway, because they don't even know what real diamonds and shit like that is anyway. So when they think they getting real diamonds, they not really getting real diamonds, bro. Go watch Johnny Dane. Even Johnny Dane told you before. Trex NYC even said it before.
So if I do a movie, it could be executive producer Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, it was like a checkmate. I'm like, you literally found a way to put your name on something that had nothing to really do with you, bro. Like, come on, bro. Don't do that to me. So, long story short, this is where it got tricky. So, long story short, I cut my contract with ADD, man. I had to get away. I said, look, I can't do this no more. I'm done, bro. I'm over here going broke over this shit. And I went homeless over that shit, bro. I was homeless for a year and a half, living out of my car. With a kid, bruh. With a kid. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to hold on to my tools, my ones and twos, still trying to make it work out here. And I'm out here homeless in this going crazy.
I'm telling you, bro, that shit is a scam. NBA artists, no, I say NBA artists, what the fuck? NBA players, sports players, unless you wanted unless you like LeBron or something like that, unless you like Luka, unless you like Tiger Woods or something like that, you not getting paid that much, bro. You're not getting paid that much. Let's just be real, bro. They selling you these fake dreams. You're not getting paid that much as no NBA player, as no art. Listen. Go do some research on that. How much do they really get paid in sports? Unless you like one of the top playing ones, but it's not what they try to make it seem, bro. They have to seem bigger than what it is so they can paint you and keep on selling you that American dream or that lifestyle. They have to keep on selling you this lifestyle when they can barely even afford the lifestyle. And a lot of them think that they can, but don't even know until the shit hit the fan that they didn't even realize that wasn't even their money. That's why they took, because they used to teach, record labels used to teach artists how to, I forgot what they called it, but they used to pretty much give financial advice to the artists and give like class, or not classes, but pretty much like help the artists with their money. They don't even do that no more. They hoping you do some stupid shit with it so you can be forever in debt to them and keep on making songs and keep on giving them money.
And before I get up in this camera and go crazy in front of y'all niggas, I'm gonna stay away and get up out y'all face. Because I know I got a bigger purpose, bro. And I'm not the type of nigga that's get in front of a camera and cry.
After the elites caught wind of this video, they had to punish Spoken Reason. Nick Cannon would line Spoken Reasons up. He had him featured on one of the episodes a while and now, along with Emmanuel Hudson. Knowing that the two had beef, this was a humiliation ritual.
Boy, you're homeless, your pocket coming out your pocket, stupid.
Step into Wig Studio. Kick off project.
And if you don't know, Nick Cannon is definitely a gatekeeper. Nick Cannon is definitely a gatekeeper. That nigga been in this shit for too goddamn long. He been in 30, that nigga been in too many movies. Drumline made too much money. That nigga is a fucking gatekeeper. He got his own show. I wouldn't doubt if he lined Emmanuel Hudson up. That's some sick ass, that's some cold-hearted shit. To even be in the industry, you gotta be a cold-hearted motherfucker. Cause they do some cold-hearted shit. It's that capitalistic in them, that capitalistness, or however you want to say it, but that capitalist, get that greed of the money, love, worship of the money, capitalism. Boy,
Emmanuel video 4 years ago. Why you asking all them questions? Not your
E-Man and Spoken Reasons. Here we go. You want to tell the people why we never did another video? 5 years. Tired of being merciful. Nick, I know this is wild style, but this one is personal. Woo. You feel me? Fuck your Y'all remember asking all them questions? Yeah. You know it came with a big check until he snatched it from me. Then he went missing and started acting funny. He did a movie doing comedy, acting funny. To tell the truth, Nick, I really want to smack this dummy. But you telling me to chill, questions with small change, I'm still spending she ratchet money. Now listen, act stupid. I know you mad clueless.
Now, you may be like, oh, now listen. Maybe Spoken Reasons did do it. Maybe he didn't. But what I do know is he came out and broke the oath. When you do that, they gotta let you feel it. They gotta show you, nigga, we put you on. You better not try to go against us. You better not try to say nothing, because we the ones who made you. Emmanuel Hudson probably ain't never, because that nigga always had a feminine character. Even when, like he just said, asking all the questions, that nigga was playing a ratchet female character. So this nigga has no problem probably messing with the industry and doing whatever they say. Spoken Reasons, on the other hand, didn't probably want to do none of that bullshit. That's why Emmanuel Hudson can still spend that cheap ratchet money. That faggot money that he had to act like to get that money. A ratchet female. I wouldn't be surprised if this nigga, if I can go find a video with him or a picture with, or a movie or something with him in a dress at this point. Because while Spoken Reasons was trying to be a reasonable person and not be off in the industry and doing all that bullshit, Emmanuel Hudson gonna come at him like he did something wrong, which I'm not saying Spoken Reasons did or didn't. But what I do know is when you break that oath, they gotta make you seem like you a bad person and do all and make you seem like you something you not. Even if they lined you up to fall for something or blackmailed you to do something, they gotta make you seem like you a bad person because you broke the oath and went against their code and broke the code of silence. You know when they do this? Yeah, they broke the code of silence.
The reason why you on this show, because my name was attached to it.
Well, I ain't gonna say that. That's what that mean. They gotta stay silent and not speak. But Emmanuel Hudson Emmanuel Hudson ain't never broke that. I ain't never seen no video with him coming out against the industry or saying nothing bad about the industry or none of that. Spoken Reasons is the own, he did, and now he the one who getting made fun of and getting blackballed and blackmailed and shamed like he really did something wrong. And who knows, he maybe did. But when you break that oath, they gotta make you seem like you the wrong one, like you've been doing all the wrong. I know that much.
Your place. Your most viewed video shows nothing but my face. So tell the people right now, before I get mad and start to rise, you got a chance to clear your name right now. Apologize.
Now, E-Man, there's a lot of hostility in the room.
That's a fact.
we could start a fight. I had to call your mama to put you in your first video with me. I put you on your first flight.
And I
You gotta get on your ass.
After being humiliated on Wild 'N Out, he went on live to take shots at Nick Cannon and E-Man.
He got a lot of feminine traits. And I can assure you, if I add this on this it's gonna be some back and forth and ain't got time for it. This motherfucker didn't add me on his. Why would I add you on mine? You had your platform, I got mine. So now I'm on my you wanna come.
So now also, it could be that they may, because you notice, they always come out, if it's a person, if they blew up together, whether it's a group or whether it's two person, whether it's two people, whether it's three, however, if it's a group, and they end up going against each other, it's either because the label did that so they can garnish more attention and make it seem like they're beefing, but not really beefing. It's so they can garnish more attention or get more views, which in this case, that might have been what it was, or they actually did break up and the group is no longer together and beefing, and actually beefing because of the money. Somebody either wanted to do some shit that wasn't morally right, or the other person didn't want to do something that was morally wrong, going against their morals. So then they had a fight, like, nigga, this could be more money, whoop, 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 whoop. And then next thing you know, they end up breaking up because they fell out, disagreed. The other one was immoral, the other one wanted to keep the morals or some shit like that. And then next thing you know, now they beefing. The one who wanted to keep the morals end up looking like the bad guy, because the one who, without the morals, that want to keep on going for that, want the money and want to get bigger, he going against and making it seem like the other person was in the wrong. But really, it was him. That's why he can stay on shows, Emmanuel Hudson. That's why he can stay on shows, keep on getting bigger, and keep on getting money, because he never went against the grain. He never talked shit about the people that put him on. Like he said, he had a lot of feminine traits and shit like that. Do you realize they come out, they tell these people to come out and do the memes that you think just blew up because somebody just went outside and did something funny and then put it online to post it and blow it up? No. 9 times out of 10, memes that went viral, memes that we know today and still live rent-free off in our head, all them viral funny memes and vines and shit like that, was influencers. Even back then, there was paid influencers, just like we have now. People you can't trust, and people that's on YouTube or TikTokers that's influencers, and they're here to push this certain agenda. They paid off. That was even back then. We just didn't really know about that, or the ones that knew about that did. But the younger generation like me that was growing up around that time, if you're around my age, like if you're around 24, if you're around my age from like then, a little bit older or maybe just a little bit younger, if you remember them times, bro, they even had paid off influencers back then. Cause let me see anybody, any random regular person post a meme and it just go viral like that all over the world. No, that was a setup. That was meant to go big. That was their moment to go big. A lot of them, like 6070 when shoot me. When he said, hit me nigga, so I can give you a reason to clap your ass. That video, when he had his shirt off, the dude threw his bike off in there, that was probably his moment to go viral. He said it on one of his shows that he had plenty chances to go viral. Most of the time, these people is regular people that you went to school with that you never really would have knew that they were supposed to be viral or go be this big person when they get older. They knew it. Maybe they didn't know it. And they was just getting groomed by their parents or whoever the whole time so they could become this person. I know people off in the NBA right now that I went to school with that I never would have thought, well, I ain't gonna say I never would have thought that would have made it, but let's be honest, I never really would have thought that they made it, especially coming from Arkansas. Arkansas doesn't get no type of real, Arkansas doesn't get no real type of looks. We don't get that much looks on anything, whether it's rap, whatever it is. The most we probably known for was our football. Go Pig Suey or Woo Pig Suey. That's the most Arkansas was known for, was football, bro. Pig Suey, dogs, football. That's it. But we got a whole lot of talented rappers as well. And now we just now started to kind of blow up. What is that nigga? That one nigga, he came from, I forgot where he came from, and I forgot who he signed to, but it was about like, about Freddie Bands, or not Freddie Bands. I forgot what his name, Bankroll Freddie. No, not Bankroll Freddie. I forgot his name, but he came from Arkansas, and he was a kind of a big rapper. I don't hear about him no more. I stopped hearing about him after a while, but he's still I guess he's doing his thing. But 9 times out of 10, these people that you even went to school with, you probably didn't know that they was literally planning to blow up. People that did these viral memes that you still know of today, that was literally infiltrate. Like they was like, I can't even explain. I can't get the word I'm looking for, but literally like they was put there to blow up, if that makes sense.
All right, start.
There wasn't just no random act. They did something, went outside and filmed, and then placed it online. They just randomly blew up. No, that was a purposely executed plan by some people hired than them.
Talking shit. Y'all crazy, bro. I don't care how you move. You better move out the way. All right. Hey, you made your living being a bitch.
Oh, what I just say? I could probably go find some videos with him in a dress or something, or pictures. Because that nigga was acting too feminine even back then. Like what I say, he doing whatever for that money, bro. Spoken Reasons ain't doing that shit. That's why they got to come out on him and make him seem like the bad person. I'm already knowing this game, bro.
I made my living off my own, bro. I can say I can honestly go to God and say, "Good Lord, I made my money off my own, like being my own man, bro. I ain't have to do nothing."
And honestly, I'm not saying Spoken Reasons is just all innocent, but I definitely believe him over Emmanuel Hudson any day. Because that nigga is still off in the industry. That nigga was the one that was acting like a faggot for the money. I don't want the money that bad. I'm not putting on no dress. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not acting like no female, no ratchet black female, none of that shit. For no money, bro. I don't care. I don't care. And like I said, I could probably go find something and he put it in there. Shout out Jay Marvelous. And he put it off in there.
Out here, your majority of your money came off of being a in a ass.
Like I said, I go over, so I side with Spoken Reasons all day than Emmanuel Hudson. Because you already see what he'll do to get down for the money. What he'll get down and do for the money. So I'm side with Spoken Reasons on this one. He may have did some shit too, but it couldn't have been as bad as what Emmanuel Hudson did. Then Emmanuel Hudson, because he don't want to stop his money train, he may feel bad about dissing him and doing all that on live, maybe not on Wild and Out, but because he want to keep on getting his money, he not going to come out and say the truth. He just going to have to keep on doing whatever they tell him to.
And when you say I should have kept his energy on stage, we talk after the show. We talk. See, that's what my thing is. I talked to this and we shook hands 3 to 4 times in between the years, and he had nothing to say. Now, granted, yeah, I brought it back up last year because I was on my big spoke Draco shit. But at the end of the day, yeah, nigga, I made money off your
So pretty much what he's saying is, while Emmanuel Hudson was getting paid by his sugar daddies, he was pretty much making it on his own. He had to do this shit. He had to come out and pretty much, he said he brought it back up last year. Well, not last year, but whenever that video was made, he said he brought it back up that last year, pretty much so he can probably get the ball rolling with on his fame again, and so he can keep on trying to get some money. Because now he got to supposedly do it by himself. Ain't nobody bagging him. Ain't got no people putting no money behind him. He blackballed about the industry, so now he got to make it on his own. So he probably brought that back up so it can bring him some more attention. So maybe he can get some more attention on his whatever he doing, or bring in a little money or something.
You made money off of me because I gave you the opportunity.
And that's what you got to watch out for. If they was in a group, if they started off as a group, or they brought somebody around, or somebody brought somebody around in the industry, next thing you know, they beefing, watch both sides and watch what both of them did before they end up started beefing. Because I can tell you now, I would take Spoken Reason side over Emmanuel Hudson all day. All day. And I ain't even really got to say the whole thing. I can just tell by the fruits, like if y'all Christians so-called believe in the Bible, I can tell by the fruits that he's bearing that I shouldn't even trust him or trust him. I will side with Spoken Reason, or I'm talking about Emmanuel Hudson. I can tell by the fruits that Emmanuel Hudson was bearing that he shouldn't. I side with Spoken Reasons all day.
Losing your,
because he pretty much didn't sell out for the money.
I took the least credit for the as far as the royalties. You got the majority of the.
Like I said, I don't even have to know everything, but just by the fruits that Emmanuel Hudson was bearing before he even got famous, not with the fame, before. You already know what he gonna do when they talking about a big check. Oh, I just got to do this? Oh, come on with it. So I saw with Spoken Reasons all day. And I've seen this video probably up till like, when he was talking up to like 3 minutes. 3 minutes or something, maybe 4 at most. I haven't seen the rest of this. I just seen that, I was like, oh, I seen that video when he was talking with that Tupac and bandana on his head and shit, sideways. I stopped listening to it from there. I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching this. I'm gonna react to this. So I haven't seen all this. I just can tell, my spirit of discernment, bro. My spirit of discernment.
Your page and the shit is on my page. It was on your page and it was on my page. You got your royalties as far as Google AdSense. I got my royalties as far as Google AdSense.
And not only that though, even if Emmanuel Hudson didn't really side with him or side with the other people, it's because more so they didn't tell him take our side and go against him maybe. But what they did do was gaslighting probably Emmanuel Hudson. It was like, you know what? You're a bigger star than him. You're a bigger actor than him anyways. You could just leave him alone. He wasn't even doing nothing anyways. You're bigger than him. You're a bigger star. It was gaslighting his ego and all this other shit. And then made him pretty much go against Spoken Reasons. And that just was fueled the fire even more. You see how they be doing. You know what they be doing on movies. They show us this shit in movies. Not cartoons too, but movies. They show us this shit. When the artist, they going through a fight, or even a female, be gaslighting and stroking her dude's ego. Like, baby, you bigger than him. You was more of a star anyway. You was a better singer. You can do it without him. And then that nigga like, you're right. Or she like, you should be getting the most money anyways, because you bigger than him. And boop, boop, boop. And then he like, baby, you right. And then end up fighting with his homeboy over some bullshit. Because his ego got gaslit. That's how this shit works off. Even if they don't directly tell you to go against him or go against that person, they're going to gaslight you into doing it.
fuck do I owe you, bro? What the fuck do I owe you?
After addressing this issue, the higher up sabotaged his career. He was arrested on charges last year and fell off completely. Let me know what y'all think. Did spoken reasons break the oath, or did he just run out of steam? Leave your comments below.
No, maybe. He probably ain't no. I don't feel like he ran out of steam. He just broke the oath. He just didn't want to take. He just broke the oath pretty much. And while Emmanuel Hudson was ready to do whatever, whenever for the money, spoken reasons on the other hand didn't. Then they probably gaslit Emmanuel Hudson feminine ass, and then his feminine, you already know, he gonna fall for the shit. Oh, you're a bigger star than him anyways. Oh, you was funnier than spoken reasons anyways. You know what? Let's just get you your own solo brand deal act or some shit. And then push him and forget about spoken reasons. Spoken reasons come in like, hey, what's going on? What's with my money? They're like, well, you know, we decided to kind of drop you or some shit like that. We decided to kind of drop you and push him a little more because, you know, he's the more popular one. And because I ain't gonna lie, Emmanuel Hudson was kind of more popular than spoken reasons. But the only reason we found out about Emmanuel Hudson was because of spoken reasons. But once spoken reasons put him on, I ain't gonna lie, Emmanuel Hudson did kind of blow past him a little bit. But because of that, that don't mean they had. There's something going on behind closed doors. And then you see how Nick Cannon, being the gatekeeper and the person that he is off in the industry, guys he bought, and he put them on different sides. He put spoken reasons on this side and Emmanuel Hudson on this side. On the red team, he put whatever on the black team. So they can talk shit. Or so Emmanuel Hudson can pretty much humiliate spoken reasons even more in public. And DC Young Fly. And I ain't gonna lie, I never really liked him. Because he always seemed a little, yeah, I used to watch some of his shit, but I never really liked DC Young Fly. Why the fuck would you get a fucking DC tatted in the middle of your fucking eyebrow? That nigga, listen, you just gotta watch these artists, bro. You gotta watch all of them in the industry. If they getting, you gotta watch them all, bro. Like I said, I side with spoken reasons before I side with Emmanuel Hudson all day. Because the fruits that he bared even before he got famous, that nigga was acting like a feminine bitch. Talking about asking all them questions, making statements. I assume that nigga acted like his whole career was based off of acting like a ratchet black female, Emmanuel Hudson. If you don't see nothing wrong with that and you still think spoken reasons is the dirty one, is on the bad side just because they're making him seem like it, you need to adjust your spirit of discernment and get it back on tuned with the right frequency, because you would have been tricked in that situation. I'll catch y'all on the next video.